what do you guys think is going on with the markets right now, man? Let's start with balls. What do you think is going on right now?
Accumulation phase or reaccumulation phase, whatever you want to call it. It's time to stack sats or stack whatever coins that you want to, stack.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's my sentiment now.
Oh, okay. What about you, CG?
Well, I think it's trying to find its pace. I mean, you just have to let the Bitcoin do the Bitcoin thing.
It's still trying to find a support, right? I suppose.
Yeah. Well, it's trying to form a higher low, so that's encouraging. Remember, I told you, right? It all depends whether they form a higher low or lower low. So far, it's like trying to form a higher low. So let's see how in the next 12 hours, we'll probably see the next few candles. Yeah.
You're talking about the daily chart, right here?
Yeah, I'm looking at daily chart. So from a daily trend, I can see that it's trying very hard to fight.
But the major resistance that we're seeing, the form of triple top, is at 45,000. So you think that will be overcome?
Hard to say. I think if it does a reversal with a higher low above 37 and close 39 and above, and then probably you get that attempt to the next resistance level at 44.9 or 45 around that level.
I see. Okay, but definitely I think the macro factors is still affecting the markets a lot If you guys take a look at the inflation rate, oil prices, FYI guys, oil prices surged to about $130 per barrel already.
Yeah, time to cycle to work.
What the heck? Oh, balls, what do you think, man? Oil prices, $130 per barrel.
Well, on a macro scale, everything is going to go up because everything is tied to oil, right? But fortunately, majority of us who use, RON 95 or what, hopefully the government, hopefully it doesn't affect us because that is directly affecting. But the rest, the other things, we can't run away, food, transportation, not really transportation, logistics, everything will be affected, and eventually it will eat into our, our daily life. It will definitely cause inflation to our daily life, no matter what your lifestyle is.
Yeah. I mean, you take a look at it plastic uses petroleum so if petroleum goes up in price, right, obviously plastic will be affected. Then everything nowadays uses plastic, so literally everything is just going to rise in price. Plus Bitcoin mining uses oil also. Not all of the Bitcoin mining is renewable energy, right? So that's why I think that this inflation and this current situation, it's difficult to say whether it's good or bad for Bitcoin What do you think, man, CG? This current uncertainty and this situation, good or bad for Bitcoin?
It's hard to say
right?
Well, it's still a risky asset for people to put money in it.
Yeah.
For now, I think stable coin or keeping in stables is the way out for this period of time. If you see what Crypto Balls is saying, rightly so, that whenever oil price go up, then everything just go up in order even the roti canai will tell you that because oil price go up, roti canai price has to go up. So because they use a lot of oil, right? So but it comes to all these small simple stuff will be affected because of oil price. So with this oil price surging still this level, it will continue to go up, I suspect, and it will continue to cause further inflation, and this inflation will be multi-level in all our society. It's not about consuming oil in the car anymore. It's about everything in our life.
Yeah. Because everything very easily ties to oil currently. Yeah. Okay. But let's talk a bit about Fantom, man. What exactly happened? Can anybody... Oh, by the way, guys, for those in the audience, this is an open discussion now. We're just doing a random space only. We're probably going to do it until, I think, 10:30, 10:45, like that, to just talk about, discuss with these very knowledgeable speakers about what exactly happened to Fantom, so on and so forth. If you guys want to join up, you just request to be a speaker, we will approve you, and then you can join us in this, I would say, very fun debate lah, I would say. Yeah. So Fantom, what exactly happened? It took a nosedive, I think 20 to 30% in just a few hours. I heard one of the lead devs actually left the platform. You want to start first, boss? What exactly happened to Fantom?
Yeah, I would just like to start by saying that, whatever I say here is my own opinion, and it's not.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, and it's not any legal advice or financial advice or whatever advice. It's just my opinion. So with that out of the way, I'll just based on what I see, Andre is one of the, you could say, like, the core developer of Fantom, Yearn Finance, and a lot of other dApps, right? But I mean, you guys, you have to know that even if Andre leaves with this other guy, I forgot what his name is, the one that tweeted out that they are going to leave.
His name is Anton.
Anton, right? Anton. So you must realize that even if they leave, right, the blockchain will still run. dApps, except those that they say they will discontinue, the other dApps will still be running. And if you look at projects like Ethereum, right, back in the days, Charles Hoskinson, Gavin Wood, they all left, right, to start their own shit. But Ethereum still went on just like any other blockchain, because you know why? TikTok next block. You know what? It doesn't matter whether the founder is there or not, it will still be ticking. And Fantom is not just some shit coin, right? It's a very respectable project. And a lot of development has been poured into it, a lot of effort. And even if you look at Bitcoin, right, Satoshi Nakamoto left the scene back in like 2011 and gave, Gavin Wood as the lead developer, right? Satoshi Nakamoto never even doxed himself. He just left like that. But Bitcoin is where it is today. So I would say that there's nothing to be afraid about. If you are a believer in Fantom, now is the time to average down. Okay, but disclosure I still haven't owned any Fantom, but I do read a lot about it. Yeah.
Yeah. What about CG? What do you think, man? This case with Fantom.
After tonight, our mission is to make sure Crypto Boss start buying Fantom, right?
Yeah.
I'll be sure to buy it.
Well, for someone who hasn't owned Fantom, you actually know Fantom pretty well, and rightly so. I mean, Andre has been very instrumental in the whole Fantom ecosystem since day one. I mean, when Fantom was really developing as a blockchain itself, Andre was one of those few in the beginning, was providing a lot of insights and technical know-how to Michael Kong and the group in Fantom. I've been following Fantom since I think it was maybe May last year, May 2021. What intrigued us was this new ecosystem has so much hype. The first time actually I was really shocked to see Fantom was when the Fantom logo was on a Formula One car. So at that time, Fantom wasn't really known yet. But this Harry Ye, who likes motorsports and all, he's a big investor in Fantom. He started putting logos everywhere, and I think in our community of people, only Marish and myself went on the journey with Fantom. The rest all went to the dark side of Solana, Cardano, Avalanche, and all. So when we ventured into FTM, we didn't even know the name Andre. I mean, seriously, at the time, Andre Conje wasn't in our radar. It was really the ecosystem, and a lot of the dApps were moving from Polygon was broken at that time because of so much of dApps running on it. The whole system was locked down. We wanted to find another place for us to start our DeFi journey, and that was Fantom. It was easily bridging. Easy for us to bridge over. And Andre wasn't the name even that appeared. Only when we were in that ecosystem, we started learning about this guy who actually were, like so famous and started doing all the stuff. Yeah. So having said that, Andre himself, it shouldn't be the guy who define the whole ecosystem. Yeah, Ishad, sorry, you are also a Fantom Maxi. Yeah, Ishad, are you here?
Wait, where's Ashad? Where's Ashad? I don't see Ashad. Don't dox him already. Don't dox him. Ashad, right?
Yeah, and actually, in the midst of Fantom at that time was really a few people believe in it because everybody was jumping to the big ship where all the VC were going to Solana. Everybody was putting money in Solana. I still remember that time, and a lot on AVAX as well. But very few were looking into Fantom. And when we talk about Fantom at the time, actually people were like, "Oh, what is Fantom? It sounds like a ghost." In actual fact, in the beginning, actually all the decal that they had was always Symmetry, Ghost, and also a Fantom. Yeah. So this Andre and Anton actually has been in the background building all the big dApps, Yearn Finance and all. They came out with this message that was really mixed, and they were saying that they terminated, their services in a way of all this big protocol, and actually that came in a big FUD. And at the same time, during this time, Bitcoin was not doing well, so that lead to additional, the 30% loss in terms of whole index. It just dropped the coin. But because people start to scared, people start to sell off Solidex. There was the Solidex exchange. There was a token called Sex token. People start selling sex here and there, trying to escape and try to exit. And that affected the whole Fantom ecosystem, which is ridiculous. Like what CryptoBall was saying, right? The whole ecosystem is not built because of one person. It's a whole team and a whole system behind it, and whole people behind it. The whole, whole foundation behind it. So we shouldn't be just selling because of one guy exiting the system.
See, here's the thing. What I read online also was that... Oh, by the way, welcome, Shavi. Welcome back to this space. Hello. Yeah, we'll pass the mic to you later. But what I read in the news was that Andre was actually... can be considered the father of DeFi. And when he tweeted, right, I'm not sure whether if it was him tweeted or Anton. I think it was Anton. They said they plan to actually terminate a few, I would say, apps, especially the dApps like Yearn Finance, stuff like that. So I think that also incurred a lot of panic and rug pull feeling within the community also. Do you guys want to talk about that? We should probably start with
that's the one I mentioned. Anton was the one who wrote on behalf of Andre, because Andre, I guess he cancelled his Twitter or he got banned. Nobody knows the real story.
Wow.
So he said he got banned. So his Twitter disappeared about a couple of days ago. And then suddenly Anton became his spokesperson. And because of that, word terminated from the other protocol, then everybody started dumping, which is ridiculous in the first place. So Simon, the CMO of Fantom, just actually tweeted about an hour ago. You guys can go to his Twitter and read. Really good. I mean, he came out and cleared the air as well. I mean, Michael Kong came out, I think this morning to clear the air, and now Simon is here. Fantom will continue to grow. It's the 5th largest TVL network. 80,000 daily active addresses, more transactions than Ethereum for the last 10 straight days. So what else can go wrong with this platform?
Yeah, but the dApps shutting down, it's definitely just a temporary FUD because at the end of the day, these people, once they hand over, the dApp will, I would say, continue to operate, right? If I'm not mistaken. Do you guys know about any of this? Because I think that's the most important thing. If the founder or the lead dev leaves and takes the dApp with them and end up rug pulling major part of the community, then obviously that's a feels bad. But I don't think that's going to happen, right? What do you think, boss?
Like I said, blockchain technology, it's not just about that one guy or that one founder, right? It's the whole community. So, like I said just now, TikTok next block, as long as there are users using the platform and that the platform is able to be sustainable, right? I don't think there's an issue with Fantom continuing its what it's doing now. And also, there are multiple other devs behind it, right? If I'm not mistaken. And also, there's a big community behind it. So I don't see why I don't see why no new devs will come in. I don't see that happening.
Yeah. Actually, I've looked at some of my friends and a few of my Patreon members. They also ended up, I would say, selling Fantom at a loss, a 20% loss. I wouldn't call that a panic sell. That's what I would call a cut loss. if you put it in perspective. So, but yeah, the ultimate thing is that why is Fantom considered a good protocol if we compare it to Solana, Ethereum, or other layer 1 networks out there? So from what I know, it's that it's actually not really a blockchain. It works on this thing called a directed acyclic graph. You guys want to elaborate more about Fantom and why it's so good or maybe bad? CG, you want to start?
Well, yes and no. I guess, do you call Fantom a blockchain or not? It's hard to say. Of course, it's a layer solution. You're running EVM on Ethereum itself. I guess when you go back in history, when we all started, we were looking at gas fees in all the Ethereum chain. Fantom was offering a very, very good solution to all the dApps and developers, because the transaction fees was like pennies. It's like really 0.00 something cent. We used to do transactions in that cost, US dollars, and it was so cheap. It was so scalable. The speed was good. And at that time we had a comparison with Fantom and with Polygon and Binance. And then when we went to Fantom, it was instant speed. So that itself appealed to a lot of people to jump on board. They are very much a very secure system itself by itself, and a lot of dApps are moving forward. So that itself, without all the technicality of the blockchain itself or the fundamentals, but the whole performance of it already proved that Fantom has a better performance than the rest of the blockchain.
But compared to Solana also has cheap fees and relatively high, transaction output, so on and so forth. So can Fantom consider to be a hedge to Solana? You put it in that sense? I guess maybe lah. What do you think, boss? What do you think about Fantom?
Okay, so everything stems from Ethereum, right? So just a background, I'm a sort of like a Bitcoin maxi and also a Ethereum maxi. Then the only layer 2 solution that I own is just Polygon. So Matic, Fantom, right? I have not really put my money into it yet. So I think I will pass this to CG.
So Crypto, I want to ask you a question. Why do you own Matic then?
Here we go.
Here we go. Okay, so Polygon, right? It is more unique in a way that how it works. It's layer 2, but then how do I describe this? First, Fantom, like you say, is delegated something, right? Forget what's the term called already, but Matic, based on my personal experience, I used it all the time on DeFi, right? And it works well for me. It works really well for me. But for Fantom, I'm not so sure about it. So that's why I'm not into that yet. And I think Polygon was launched much earlier, right? Fantom was, I'm not sure when, 2019, 2020. So yeah, one of my main concern was, the first mover advantage. But then again, Matic is not the first mover, but in layer 2 terms, it probably is one of the first one.
Well, CG will probably give you the other perspective because he personally Matic before and the protocol before, and I don't think
I would definitely want to hear his point of view.
CG, please go ahead.
Okay, I find that Polygon is still very centralized compared to other blockchains around. Most of the nodes, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, it's actually managed and run by the Polygon Foundation themselves. So itself, I've experienced blackouts on Polygons. I can't do transactions for a couple of times during the peak hours. The whole system was actually shut down. If Morpheus was here, he can testify as well. Sometimes our transaction took a day to go through. So at that time, we realized that they don't really have the solution to scale. At that time, of course, now they're working on many other solutions. They didn't have that they couldn't solve the trilemma problem of the blockchain, right? And but Isha was reminding me as well in Polygon they could in Fantom they found a system to by using their legacies system and they are able to find this algorithm to speed up the whole blockchain in terms of processing wise. So at that time when we were comparing it to apple to apple, right, we were jumping from one EVM comparable to another EVM comparable. We found a big difference when we were in Polygon versus Fantom. So I okay, for disclaimer, I also own Matic. I find Matic, yes, there is a future. A lot of new dApps are also being built on it. But at that time, really was looking like a sunset blockchain for Polygon, and a lot of money was moving away from Polygon at one point of time.
Okay, may I add on to that? Okay, so I just want to ask CG on this. Do you know the block size war for Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash back in 2017?
Yeah.
So the argument was that, you know what, Bitcoin's fees were too high, and Bitcoin's the throughput wasn't there. That's why you need bigger blocks to facilitate more transactions, and that will bring lower fees and whatnot, but it will also bring centralization because not many people can run nodes and stuff like that. But then again, if you think about it, right, the reason why Bitcoin's transaction fees at that time, including Ethereum, is so high is because people are using it. And when Bitcoin Cash, sort of forked out of the original Bitcoin, right, the transaction fees were and still is very, very, very low, but it's because that nobody is really using it. So I'm not sure what is the the on-chain activity on Fantom. How does it look like compared to other layer 2 solutions? Is it because is it low and does it work because there's not many users, or it's because there is really, really good the technology behind it?
I think CG just now also mentioned that the number of transactions that were processed was more than Ethereum also, right? And also the protocols TVL based on DeFi Llama is also pretty high, right, CG?
Yeah. Yes, I no doubt. CryptoBalls, you pointed out something rightly as well. At that time when we were comparing two EVM, the transaction volume in Fantom was not as high. Okay, I agree on that point. But it became higher and higher. Yes, transaction fee or gas fee has gone up, I must admit. Now it costs, the last 3-4 days because of this FUD and all this issue. Some transaction actually go as high as 1.5 Fantom. We were always used to the 0.00 something Fantom. Now it went up as 1.5 Fantom per transaction. But still, it's not as expensive as, of course, Ethereum. Has the blockchain grow? Definitely, they have issue. And all these solutions are built on top of EVM, right? So they are all dependent on Ethereum blockchain as well. That's the reason why Fantom is actually moving towards their own code, like FVM, they call it, the Fantom virtual machine. So once that's up and running, they solve a lot of issues. They solve storage issues on the blockchain, they solve the transaction speed, which we are all looking forward to. So that when that comes on board, Andre Conje was supposed to rumored to be working on it, but Michael Kong came out and said that that actually the big giant team behind it is not only Andre alone. Andre was giving some technical know-how and experience, but there's a team running it. So currently now the transactions in Fantom is more than Ethereum for the last 10 straight days. So that shows something, right? There's adoption, isn't it? So with adoption comes value, your TVL increase, and you look at market cap, ratio with TVL, it's very low. So there's a lot of potential for this blockchain to grow. Some YouTubers even call it the Solana moment, waiting for Fantom to have the Solana moment where it pumps 100x within 6 months or so. Yeah, I think you also mentioned it before, right, on this last time.
Yeah. It's a matter of time, because if you take a look at the facts right now, the TVL in DeFi Llama is within the top 5, still within the top 5. I think I got to double check on that one. After Andre leave, I think maybe it might drop to top 6 or top 7, but still very high. But if you look at the rank, its rank is currently 35. So there's a very huge arbitrage you can play with. There's a very huge divergence there. Obviously, it's indicating that Fantom is, I would say, extremely undervalued right now because Avalanche, Solana, Polygon, Polkadot, all these have high TVL, yeah. And their ranking is also extremely high. Solana is top 10, Avalanche is also top 10, Polkadot is top 12. So therefore, if in this case of Fantom looking at such a high TVL, right, within top 6, right, but Fantom's rank is so low. Obviously, it's only a matter of time before people realize this and the FOMO will just start. Just like what happened to Solana previously. Sorry, just like what happened to Avalanche previously, which happened to Solana also, which happened to all the rest of the layer 1 networks out there. So
and then
I
if
believe,
you look at this point of time, of course, DeFi Llama is showing that the one-day change was about minus 18%, 7 days or minus 33%.
Yeah.
All this because of Andre Conje's protocol, right?
Correct.
But despite that, Fantom is still higher in the Solana in total value lock.
Exactly.
So do you have to ask that question why? Why is not Solana getting the numbers like Fantom does?
Yeah. So obviously, right? If we take a look at the facts also, the number of protocols is based on DeFi Llama itself, it's about 3 times higher than that of Solana. So there is some very big discrepancy right here that we can play with, and I would say that was the golden opportunity when Andre left the team. I think it was kind of a good news also because having someone to really just lead a team makes the project inherently extremely centralized, right? Just like if Vitalik Buterin left Ethereum, we would have seen the same thing also. So in the long run, I think Andre leaving the team is actually quite a good thing, right? What do you guys think? Maybe Boss?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Andre leaving the team with Daniel Sesta as well, which is a good thing because then there is the whole blockchain doesn't depend on a legacy of one person, 2%. Yeah, and you can move forward as an ecosystem by itself.
But the TVL collapse is scary because on March 3rd, right, there was about 12 billion total value locked. Then after that, when Andre announced that he was leaving, right, the TVL immediately collapsed $5 billion. Yeah, that's about, I would think, a 40 to 50%, almost 50% collapse right there. So that's definitely scary, but I think with time it will recover. Even after collapsing so hard, right, the TVL is still within top 5. I just checked, which is pretty impressive, Boss, you want to take a bit, you want to chime in your thoughts on this one?
To answer your question just now, right, is Andre leaving a good thing, right? I think it's both good and bad, Number one, you don't want to a founder to have such an emotional attachment to whatever they're doing, right? Suddenly he just leave because he just said that the community is toxic or things like that, right? That's one thing. But another way is also good because now you don't have this quote-unquote leader who is so emotional, right? You will eventually have someone taking over this project as the lead, right? But then again, Andre may not be the most suitable person to be leading this anyway, because he is the type of person who is like he runs on the background, he's not the face of the project. He doesn't like that kind of thing. So in that way, it's very good for Fantom. But until we can't really say what's good and what's bad until someone that is more capable taking over this project. That's all I would say.
I think you make perfect sense right there. The dev, they're not supposed to be the headline of the project. You let the customer service manage that part. So having a dev leaving the project, I think is extremely normal. Except for this dev, it's everybody just suddenly, I would say, hype everything up. So for those of you who own Fantom in the crowd, what we discussed so far is that we think Andre leaving the team definitely affected Fantom, yes, but in the long run, this is we can agree that this is quite good for Fantom. And looking at how much total value locked is within Fantom right now compared to its current ranking, I believe that it will have its own Solana moment, that it will just suddenly moon like that, and by then we won't even recognize it as Fantom anymore already. Like, holy crap, suddenly Fantom is within top 10. So not to draw any buy calls or sell calls with you guys. This is not financial advice. We are just giving our own analysis, and I would say majority of it is based on facts. Yeah, so I guess we settled with the Fantom stuff already. We're probably going to end the space in another 10 to 15 minutes unless someone else wants to come up and talk about some other stuff. So, simple question. Bitcoin, when moon? CG, you want to start first, CG?
I was waiting for you to tell me too.
Yeah, Bitcoin, when moon, man. Easy question.
No idea. I think, okay, so yesterday I was listening to your YouTube summary, right? So, about this long and short squeeze constantly happening, right? Sometimes you sit down and wonder, right? All these are done by, I believe, the exchanges, the centralized exchanges plays a big part into this, trying to squeeze the long and the short. So then you ask yourself, every time it goes up, somebody squeeze it to make it, give you a long squeeze, and then every time people short, you pump it, then give a short squeeze. Then you will never go beyond that median of that we are looking at, right? Every time it pumps to about 50, it gets pushed down to 30 something, and get pumps up to 40 something, gets pushed down to 30 something. So I was sitting there thinking, like, when will this moon, man?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's still lost in that thought.
Exactly, because the funding rates are extremely important to predict how the markets move, and you also have to realize that a lot of people are doing leverage trading right now and playing on margin, very high futures. That is the primary reason why we see Bitcoin is able to pump up like $3,000 in under 15 minutes. That's the only reason. You take a look at normal markets like the stock market and those with lesser leverage, not to say no leverage at all, they cannot pump and dump as hard as cryptocurrencies with leverage, right? So therefore, I get your point. It also gets a bit frustrating to see that every time when Bitcoin pumps, right, then a lot of traders will go long because right now it broke past this resistance level already. And a lot of traders will think that, oh, it's time to go long right now. And then a whale comes in, dumps the market, causes a long squeeze, and we are back down to where we started. Then after that, traders shift their sentiment and go like, oh crap, we broke this support level, now we're going to go short. And then the whales come in and say, haha, we're going to do a short squeeze again. So it's frustrating to say the least if you are a trader, but if you are taking a look to accumulate it at the, I would say, extreme fear or max pain levels, right, that's a lot of opportunity to capitulate and accumulate at the bottom. Not capitulate, but rather accumulate at the bottom. Yeah, so what do you think, man? Balls, when moon, BTC?
Well, I have the same belief, that Bitcoin. I have the same belief in you, that Bitcoin will inevitably go to 100K. But one thing missing is that we don't know the time frame. Nobody will know, but we can only predict, right, based on data, based on what the trends are, right? So from what I see, if you go back to 2011 to the first bull market, the second bull market, then the 2017 bull market, and then the 2021 bull market, right? So from what I see is that there's actually no such thing as a 4-year cycle, right? But there is from what I see, and also from what many other YouTubers see, right, is that the cycles are getting longer and longer. From the bottom to the top is lengthening in that sense, and at the same time there's also diminishing returns. So this pump may not have the same high percentage like what the 2017 bull run was, but it will still pump. But if I were to give a time frame, and this is not financial advice, if I were to put a time frame, I would say right around December 2023 plus or minus 6 months. So plus or minus 6 months, which means June 2022 or until June 2023. I believe that will be one of the. I mean, that will be the cycle rally, and that will top, and then we will go back down again from then on. So reaccumulation phase will be 2024, 2025 until perhaps even 2030. But the next bull run, I would say, is 2023 December plus or minus 6 months. Yeah, if I were to give an answer lah. But of course, nobody knows shit about fuck. So yeah, that's my take.
Yeah, just meanwhile stack sets, man.
Exactly.
Just stack your damn sets. But it goes to show lah that once the bear market really approaches, right, which we are currently seeing right now, there's no doubt we are in a bear market already. I've been saying this ever since January. We are already in a bear market. But a lot of YouTubers, they were still in denial. They said, hey, we're not in a bear market, we're still going to rally back to 69k in no time soon. But right now, you see so many things happen, right? Obviously, we are in a current bear market. But is it possible for a crypto winter to happen? Yeah, that's what I need your thoughts with. Because personally, I don't think it's possible we might not even see a crypto winter forever already. Because looking at why a crypto winter happened back in 2017 and 2018, this one was also got from CG. CG also educated me a lot, was that there were no institutional money back in those times. There was no adoption. El Salvador was not there yet, blah, blah, blah. But if we take a look at it right now, look around us, everything is pretty much involved in Bitcoin in a very tiny way, shape or form. Take a look at Russia, India, all legalizing crypto. Some spot ETFs got approved already, except for the United States, of course. And multiple countries, like El Salvador especially, right, already currently run on Bitcoin. So I don't think it's possible that we will see a crypto winter, but CG, what do you think, man? Possibility of a crypto winter? Drop back down to 10k? Possible?
Well, I want to live in Malaysia, so there's never a winter. But technically, if you look at, compared to previous years, back in 2017, all the way back 2014, one of the biggest difference I find is the existence of stablecoin. So as you have this stablecoin market now currently in the crypto world, the stablecoin is getting so strong. In market cap, it's the third largest in terms of any coin here. Like Tether is 80 billions, right? And looking at that, this stable coin becomes a very stable foundation or the rock that you will never go bottom out the market, because institution money, private money, retail money are all there, and keeping them in stable coins. I mean, look at what we do now. Today, when we say it's a safe haven to exit for a while, sell all your Bitcoins and keep in stables, right? So stables will be your fixed deposit that's going to stabilize the market, and it will never be a long winter type of feel. I agree with Crypto Balls. It's getting lengthier, and it's not going to be a pump and dump type of winter. So it will be gradual grow over time as more adoption come in. And at the end of the day, it's really fall back to the stable coins. My biggest point is that the stable coin is gonna hold the market and hold the market stronger.
Yeah, because a lot of people will have that cash on their sidelines, and even if they cash out, they still remain that stablecoin territory. Yeah. What about you, boss?
Speaking just to add on to CG's point, right? For stable coins, right? Like if let's say you own some Bitcoin, right? And you know that Bitcoin is the scarcest asset, but then you also at the same time you also think that Bitcoin's price will be trending down, and then you trade your Bitcoin for stables, right? But how do I put this? If you were to think logically, right? Why would I trade something that is so scarce for something that is probably not even backed, like stable coins? So I don't know the how do I phrase this, but why would you want to trade something that is scarce, that is super scarce, right, to something that is not even backed properly, like stable coins? I think this is a question to both of you.
Wow, that's interesting question. Wow. And it's a tough question also. Because we talk about Tether, right? Tether actually has this very big controversy with it not fully being backed by its reserves, right? I think that's what you primarily mean.
Yes.
CG, you want to take a bite on this first? I'll let you go first.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying that everybody's going to sell off their BTC to Tether or USDC or anything like that. But this trade of sell high, buy low will continue to go on because a lot of people in this crypto world are still trading it, right? Even though you find BTC is very high value, you probably have your BTC to keep and BTC to trade. Some of us do. And for the BTC to trade is, you sell high and buy back low. You increase the quantity and park some of it into your BTC to keep. So, and these coins, like you said, CryptoBall, it's actually moving up and down. So whenever they sell off, they'll keep in stable coins. So stablecoin adoption has been so big in the last couple of years. That becomes the foundation of your whole crypto market. I feel that as we heavily struck along this whole market, there's always a fallback point where whenever they feel there's a safer haven, they will dump into stablecoin first while waiting for BTC to pump, and they will sell or buy back at a lower point. So that becomes like a backup plan, right? Agree on not selling, trade away BTC to a coin, but there are also traders in the retail market that will switch between BTC and stablecoin. And then also another question is that, adoption of actual use case of Bitcoin. I mean, we discussed this at length, right, Shinji, about whether are you willing to part away your Bitcoin to buy a roti canai. Eventually, if Malaysia say that we can trade and buy things in BTC, the question then comes about is that will you be willing to sell, to pay with your BTC to buy a roti canai? So, CryptoBoa, what do you think?
Yes, so this is a very interesting topic, right?
Back
so,
to you.
Okay, back in 2016, 2017, right, there was some places in Malaysia that was accepting Bitcoin. There wasn't any layer 2 solution, right, back then, so everything is on chain. Then there's this nasi kanda, I forgot where already, somewhere in PJ, that accepts Bitcoin, which I did went there to eat and pay with Bitcoin. But of course, back then Bitcoin was like, how much only, right? Then but I have the habit of this thing called spend and replace, right? So whatever Bitcoin that you spend, you either replace it with the same amount or you replace it more. So let's say you spend 0.001 Bitcoin, then you have to replace it back. Okay, so in that sense, you are actually spending your fiat, but you are paying with Bitcoin. So you spend and replace it. So in that sense, yes, you are still using Bitcoin, but at the same time, you are replacing whatever that you have spent. So in essence, you don't really lose the, I would say you won't lose any of the upside in case next time, you know, like the Bitcoin pizza thing, 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pieces of pizza, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you spend and replace, that kind of thing wouldn't happen, in my opinion.
That's an interesting point you mentioned also, spending and replacing, right? But at the end of the day, let's say we run out of fiat, and that month itself we have no liquidity to inject into Bitcoin.
No more dry powder.
Yeah, no more dry powder, to keep that in simple terms, to, I would say, keep our Bitcoin holdings constant while we spend it. So that's the question where CG is trying to ask. And I think CG, I also told you this before, because if Bitcoin were to be adopted as a legal tender, which is currently happening right now, and everybody were to use it or whatsoever, right? Sooner or later, we gotta use it to buy services also. At the end of the day, we are saving money. Whether it was strengthen or weaken is to ensure that we can get services in the future. So at the end of the day, no matter how much you save, right, you still gotta spend a bit. So it will definitely disincentivize people from spending more, which is actually a good thing, because all these loans that we're taking right now, this is the main cause of inflation. Banks issuing loans here and there, so much inflation. But if you have a sound money to actually dictate how you can spend and disincentivize you to spend and to save more, then you will only actually get what you require. Because at the end of the day, we still need food, right? We still need laptop, we still need phones and stuff like that, right? So we might not buy like a brand new iPhone 13 or whatsoever that the company is trying to sell, but we might reduce our cost basis back to iPhone 10, because at the end of the day, we still need a phone to survive. So I think that's where we might veer off to. And for those people who are really rich, those are the people who can really spend. That's where we will put it at that point. What do you think, CG?
I think we will reach an utopia type of state where if everything evolves with one currency, which is Bitcoin. So that means you earn your salary in Bitcoin, you pay your Grab driver in Bitcoin, and so then what CryptoBall is talking about of trying to balance your output with additional input, right? So if you're going to convert from fiat to more Bitcoin, it's going to be chasing after the green candle. It's going to be tough. You're going to be buying less and less over time. I mean, it's been shown, right? So probably you reach a state where left and right, I'm generating revenue in Bitcoin, I'm spending money in Bitcoin. And of course, you can have a balance, then you don't feel the pain. Today, my son came up to me and said, "Daddy, can I buy Bitcoin?" I was like, he's 10 years old, right? He's 10 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, they say, why do you want to buy Bitcoin? Oh, because my friends use his allowance. His father helped him buy Bitcoin. I was like, okay. So I give him the CG3 loss. Anyway, so as long as it's not his money, he's not buying Bitcoin now. But I mean, it will come a time, right? So like, I just want to try to say that where people will understand Bitcoin is going to be a medium of exchange, but you'll reach a time only when you have both ends of your income and expenditure is reflected in equal value. Otherwise, it's going to be chasing after the green candle and trying to buy and top up. You'll never catch it. Unless it's a down, a bear market, then you're lucky.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay, we have also discussed this before. Well, hi Morpheus. Hi Marish, how are you? How's Batman?
Hey man. What's up?
How was Batman? I heard Batman is pretty good.
I don't want to say anything. Later, I don't want to spoil anything. Whether good or bad.
Marish, did you go to toilet? Did you go to toilet during the 3 hours?
No, I hold it.
Wow.
You didn't check your index, right?
What index?
During the show, you didn't check your chart during the show?
No.
That must be a good show, like that.
Yeah, we were actually just talking about Fantom only. We actually settled Fantom for you already, but we can revisit this sensitive area if we were to for you, because we know that you are a Fantom, pretty much a Fantom maxi lah.
I am.
But yeah, we were actually talking about just now the Andre, the lead dev, actually leaving the protocol, and a lot of people actually left, and sold. You see Fantom dipping to extremely low levels, $1.30, and that was, you were in the Patreon group, that was exactly when I entered, around $1.
That is not low. It used to be 20 cents, I think, in July, August.
That one you jangan compare lah.
Wait, but still, it was like 6 months ago only.
Well, that was basically, you put the same case for Solana. Solana was like way below 30 plus, 10 plus.
But not 6 months ago.
True.
No, the thing is, the ecosystem is there. The developer, the protocols, there's a lot of DeFi protocol in Fantom. It's like a testing ground. They've always been there. So the thing is, all this. Yes, Andre is Fantom advisor, not kind of like a lead developer or something. Right, he is a developer. But anyway, the ecosystem is already there. There's a lot of developers building in. Not building, they are protocols, blue chips protocol already built. Spirit, Spooky, all those, Beethoven, all those are very innovative protocols. So it's Fantom is bigger than one man lah.
Okay. What about Yearn Finance? Because that
is the question. Whether
Let's talk about it.
Should we buy or not?
Oh, you're straight away going to the point, but you know.
But correct, because I saw one tweet. Yearn was saying that he hasn't been working on Yearn for the past 1 year.
Yes.
So so that means because he built very 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 good protocol that how to say, he can just leave it. It will still run as intended. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. That's a tough question.
I don't know whether we should buy or not. The thing is, because I am in DeFi, I'm not in the centralized exchange. So to buy in DeFi means I have to, I don't know lah. Now it seems like it's bounced back, so cannot lah. I want to buy the low one. Cannot get now.
Actually, I think let's put Yearn Finance aside lah. I think actually Fantom at $1.33 is pretty reasonable buy. I think, yeah. Even though it can go lower lah. I mean, possible.
Yeah,
you know?
it is.
Looking at the current state of the macro factor. Yeah.
Yes, look at BTC. Always look at BTC.
Yeah, that's the main point right there. But Scholar Crypto, yeah. Hi, Scholar.
Scholar Crypto.
Hello, hi everyone.
Hey, I don't know his name lah, okay? Because
Azim. Just call me Azim lah.
Okay, very, very nice. You straight away dox yourself. Very good.
By the way, we got Ihsan also here, King Crypto. I think maybe he have good insight also lah about Fantom, about the developer. The developer right? Yang keluar daripada ni Fantom.
Wait,
dia bukan developer. Dia God of DeFi.
I see, God of DeFi. So let's go lah. Let's go to IBC Morpheus.
These guys, I want to try, but now it seems like it's not the time yet until BTC move. Until we actually know where BTC wanna go first.
If you guys ask Scholar Crypto, of course we are shilling about the IBC one lah. Osmo.
Hey, nice UI by the way, CG.
Kan,
you should check it out. It's nice UI.
Shinji, you should check this Osmo Zone.
Which one? You're trying to make me a DGen lah? Wait, Osmo Zone.
Osmo Zone, not DGen lah. Kind of macam another kind of new network lah juga.
Yang ni layer 1 lah.
Osmo is like macam DeFi lah.
Layers tu kena tanya Ihsan. Aku tak tahu dia layer apa.
I think it's layer 2. Tapi Ihsan can invite Ihsan lah. Ihsan request lah speak.
Just come up guys. Whoever wants to come up and speak, it's an open session, very chill session. Yeah.
I think Ihsan lagi ada insight lah sebab sekarang dia pun tengah maxi on Juno, Osmo. So we are looking into another kind of, bila Bitcoin jatuh dia naik.
Divergent.
Those kind of play.
Hello, King Crypto.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, Ihsan, how are you?
So far good. I'm good. Right.
So, this Osmo Zone ni, is it layer 1 or layer 0 or layer 2?
Okay. Basically, IBC, Internet of Blockchain. You may have heard about some of the coins, but you never knew they are IBC. For example, Luna. I think like everyone knows Luna, but they don't know Luna is IBC family. Atom, some of you have heard, and also Secret Coin, Akash Coin, even Binance BEP2 is actually IBC, but the deserted child lah. Okay, so Osmosis specifically is an L2 to all the other coins. You know why I say that? Because Osmosis is designed specifically to become a DEX, but it is a sovereign chain on its own. Unlike you say Pancake, unlike Uniswap where they sit on another chain and become a DEX, but Osmosis is a chain designed to be a DEX. So in that essence, it's actually an L2 to every L1. Okay, what make it unique and different is that as a chain and as an AMM, now it's the second biggest DEX in the whole crypto world. It's just second to Uniswap now. And I think it will eventually go head to head with Uniswap, I think within 1 year.
Okay, that's cool. So what's your take on Fantom?
Okay, so korang tahu tak this traditional formula MCAP over TVL? I think
You mean the market cap, right? Market cap over
Market
TVL,
cap.
right?
TVL.
It's exactly what I covered earlier during the session.
Okay, so basically when you look at the MCAP over TVL, Fantom is going to touch below 1 very soon. So actually Fantom has already been overbought so long. So now it's already going below 1 very soon. I think the psychological price would be about $1, and at $1 it's a good rebound already. The developer leaving the chain is not a big deal, it's just a big shock. But when you look at all the 6 projects, I think he left, all the 6 projects already have existing active developer except for the last one, which is Solidly.
Which is 5 of them is in Ethereum.
Come again?
The 6 project, 5, the one in the list, all 5 is on Ethereum. Only one on Fantom,
which is the Solidly lah. But when you look at all the newer EVM chains, when I was studying the newer EVM chain this past few days, the liquidity in most of the EVM chain, apart from Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain, is very shallow. FTM is actually quite near to them compared to the others. I mean, you just open DeFi Lama. You open DeFi Lama, you go to chain section. You go to chain section. Let me just have a look now. So in the chain section, number 1 is of course Ethereum, no doubt, and number 2 is of course Luna. After that is BSC, number 4 is Avalanche, number 5 is Fantom. So Fantom TVL, when you compare to Avalanche, is also not to say very far. It's 7 billion and 10 billion. So now it's 7 billion because everyone is flooding, everyone is leaving. But I think eventually we'll catch up because nobody can afford to stay in. If you want to use Avalanche, might as well use Ethereum, to me lah. I mean, if you look at the gas price. So I think everyone will just come back to a Fantom after that.
So this is just temporary fear selling, panic selling from.
And when you look at the market cap over TVL, use a bit of technical analysis, you can already find a good buy zone.
Of course, FYI guys, those in the audience, we are giving a lot of advice today, but the only advice we are not giving is financial advice. So do not take anything as financial advice back home.
Yeah, I think that's the most important.
Yeah, I think it's yeah, Jigu Isa, I think you covered it pretty well also. And the point which you pointed out, where the market cap over TVL, right, really goes to show how I would say oversold Fantom can be. And obviously the psychological price based on the TA levels, although it bounced back up at $1.30 quite a few times already. So we're kind of not sure if it will go to $1, but if it does go to $1, then I think CG, Marish, Balls, not sure of Azim, is it? Azim? I think it's Azim, right? If I remember your name correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they will buy at $1 because extremely good entry, right? Like a stable coin already.
No, because even though Fantom has a bad press, I mean it has a bad press. At least it doesn't have a fundamental flaw like its competitor. Solana having unnecessary congestion. Polygon is already having multiple reorganization the past few weeks. I don't see any other coin below it is actually a competitor to Fantom currently. Anyone above it is of course okay lah. BSC and Avalanche is still a good competitor, but anyone below it is not something to compare with Fantom. I think Fantom still got the juice to go after this.
Marish, CG, can you call Mo right now? Because Mo is so maximalist.
Yeah, we need Mo to defend Solana, right? Yeah, because we are attacking Solana here.
Where's Mo? Someone please call him.
He said he's not free, so I said sorry lah. We have to go and whack Solana this time.
Yeah. just to keep you guys in the loop lah, for those in the audience. This is from Mo's words lah. Huh? It's like, I'm extremely bullish on Solana. You guys know why? Because the Rust language is an extremely good coding language.
Yeah.
A lot of developers.
If he's really bullish about Solana, I will tell him better go for Juno.
Yeah, but is there a reason why? Can we just dig a bit deeper a bit on Solana? Because honestly, I do own quite a sum of Solana.
No, I'm not bullish on Solana. I don't like Solana.
No, I mean like from Mo's standpoint, we try to stand in his shoes lah. I try to understand why they are so bullish on Solana lah. Because I think despite all this DOS, DDoS things, Solana being still in beta, well, maybe it can kind of reclaim itself and become one of the. It is already the top layer 1 blockchain, right? But whether it can be close to Ethereum like BSC or not is another question. So, yeah, what do you guys think?
For one, the problem with Solana is not with the virtual machine layer, but it with the consensus layer, which is the proof of history. I think proof of history is not really a good consensus protocol to me lah. So I think even if you build a good Rust operating system on it, the minute it touch a TVL like Luna, it's gonna get congested all over again.
Okay. Any other speakers want to chime in on this Solana thing?
I'm a quite a simple guy. If it's too difficult to understand, I don't know. I don't even know what is Rust. You understand? Because I'm used to Ethereum, Bitcoin. So for me, as a very simple person, I don't go deep or trying to understand what is Rust. Although I know it's powerful, it's really good, but how to go in if I don't even understand? Because I'm so used to Ethereum.
So, in our physical class we did a few days back. So unlike the normal community, the class usually are people who are starting with zero. They have zero knowledge about crypto. Their first time listening that what is Bitcoin and everything. I tried teaching them IBC. So basically IBC is a Rust-based technology, and I teach them EVM. And I realized that the learning curve for a newbie towards a Rust-based technology is easier. That's my opinion.
That's really good, That is really, really
if you are
good,
if you are empty and I give you a phone, now you install Kepler, that's Rust made for IBC, and ask you to install EVM, MetaMask, they'll learn the IBC much faster. Seriously.
That's really good to know. There's another reason of this. One is because I'm a simple man. I'm comfortable where I am. And another reason is where are the monies are. Where is the money at? The money is we are talking about all these Ethereum smart contract whales. A lot of money is there for them to ditch Ethereum and go to itu susah lah basically for me. For them to move out from Ethereum, because the money is all there. The smart contracts founded dibuat oleh Ethereum anyway kan.
I think the money also is also about the deepness of the liquidities lah. Because I know one guy. He is like, he has his liquidity about 1 million USD. And the smallest portion is about 40,000 USD. He said, if I go to the smaller chain, I just put my own liquidity, the whole pool already.
Naik. The whole pool.
Yeah. Anyway, from 1,000 become at 20-30% because of one guy.
Centralized.
But let's itulah kalau but talking back going back to Andre quitting, not just quitting Fantom actually, quitting crypto altogether.
Yeah.
So tapi Vitalik, if let's say those kind of thing happen with Vitalik, that shock will be even more massive. Correct, right?
Yeah.
Vitalik.
I think we will see much worse dip right there because Vitalik is still considered to be the backbone of Ethereum. That's why I think the ultimate point goes to show that Bitcoin is the only, I would say, purely decentralized asset that nobody owns and nobody has intellectual property with. There's nobody to sue. There's no company to actually guide it. And goes to show that the rest of the other 17,000 or 18,000 cryptocurrencies in the market right now is just not so or not as decentralized as Bitcoin.
Looking at that, when you put it inversely, don't you think that FTM do need this reset? It need to be decentralized. So them moving out is actually healthy for FTM itself in the long run.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes,
exactly.
definitely.
I think even like Vitalik, I think he also eventually, I mean, he's still young, but I think once ETH 2.0 already find some picture, I think he also need to step down already.
Yeah,
exactly as what I mentioned earlier. I think it's very good for well, of course, what CryptoBall has pointed out as well. It's yet to be known, but on the get-go as active participant in the Fantom blockchain, I think without Andre is good, because then the next level of devs and the dev teams will be able to be elevated to the next level. There's so many good protocols and devs there, but Andre always overshadow them. So it's good to cast out with the old and then let the new grow, and this ecosystem will go faster as well. Nobody is depending on 1 or 2% now. That's my thoughts.
But can I add on this? If because Andre has a history, has a history of quitting and showing his emotions towards the media, but then suddenly now he just quits so abruptly, right? Then why does the market, why is it such a surprise that he quit? It's not like it's the first time he quit, you know what I mean? But I think the market is overreacting to his decision to quit crypto altogether.
I think it only takes one YouTuber who has 500,000 followers or close to 1 million followers to spread the FUD, and after that it all just goes like wildfire. So I think that's where it began.
And don't forget also, there are also future traders, so there will be cascade there also.
Correct, leverage trading.
One will cause the cascade to happen. That's why I said actually you can find a good, not financial advice, sorry.
We are giving a lot of advice, guys, but the only thing we're not giving is financial advice. Like I say again.
Okay lah. If you all are very fat about whatever lah, Fantom don't forget to come out to our Wednesday class. I want to shield IBC to you guys.
Hey, please, go ahead.
Never know IBC. Come. We already
the next topic we should talk about. Sorry, King Crypto. Yeah, that'd be a good idea to learn about IBC as well. I wanted to know more.
Actually, son, I almost FOMO into Luna, but the thing is, when I look at the chart, it's just like, okay, I ain't going in that kind of chart.
No, for me, Luna has a design flaw. It is 50% crypto, is 50% USD. That's why the price is like that.
The stable coin, right? USD, right? Yeah.
It should be called design flaw.
One leg is a USD. That's why the price is like that. That's why I don't want to do that.
Okay. But wait. If let's see the stable coin, that means the US Terra, is it like sustainable kind of thing?
No. It's the whole project is sustainable because US Terra has a use case. People short stocks on Mirror Finance to go to USD. So unlike the Yearn Finance where there's no use case for Yearn, US Terra has a use case. And because US Terra is the de facto IBC stablecoin, everyone outside Luna is also using US Terra. The problem is actually when there is a selling pressure towards to buy USD. Sorry, is that the way? There is a very
Wait. Aku rasa kau kena repeat tau. Aku tengah confused. Kejap. Selling pressure, buying.
Bila mana there is a great fight in the crypto sphere ni, orang akan start pergi kat stable coin. That fight
Correct.
cause a cascade of pressure towards Luna. So price movement dia, kalau siapa yang pernah tengok forex, dia macam GBP USD punya movement tau. Volatile up, volatile down, volatile up, volatile down. Because of the burning creating tu. So that's why now they're putting BTC as the third factor. Kalau you compare semua algo coin, most of the algo coin in the market, they don't have just one coin as the stabilizer. They will need two coin to stabilize the price of the US dollar.
Correct.
Because if not, this is what happened with iron. Iron only have basically iron, kan? Iron and also ice. So when the contraction happened, the cascade of pressure put ice sampai jadi not ice. I think Titan. Put a Titan pressure sampai jadi zero. So that can happen to Luna actually. In fact, it already nearly happened before this.
So very good point. Actually, I was always considering. I'm actually also a Luna maxis. I love Luna, but I like the ecosystem where something minted and something to be burned. But you brought a very good point of if there's a lot of buying pressure of USD, then the Luna will be burned. But if there's a high pressure of selling USD, then Luna will be minted, and that will crash Luna price as well. Yeah, so now there is a balance of the backup of BTC.
Actually, you know why Luna got right when there is actually a rapid expansion, and then suddenly there is a contraction where people start to arbitrage and everything. That is where the price got right. That is where iron got right actually.
Yeah, so Morpheus, this is like Toon Finance and all the Toon Fox algorithm stable coins, because when there is an oversell of a token, then they will crash. Their pack will.
That's why now Luna, what do you call that? Daquan is now dealing with all the other parties to put BTC as a third factor. When you have this third factor, this third currency, that will be the stabilizer to the whole mechanism.
It's something like a foreign currency reserve.
Yes. In fact, I've seen some of the other models which use this formula. It is more stable compared to just use a single currency as a backup.
Yep, I think it's a great idea. I agree on that point. Yeah. So we should buy more Luna now?
No financial advice here, but up to you lah.
Wait for them to factor in BTC, then only we buy.
I don't think Luna is a good time to buy now. I think
it's too don't chase the green candle. Yeah. Don't chase the green candle.
Could you see a possibility of other decentralized stablecoins being added as their reserves instead of Bitcoin? Like DAI?
I think now what Luna is doing, they don't want to be tied to a central. They don't want to be tied to a centralized coin. So definitely no USDT, no USDC. DAI, I don't know whether they're going to do it in the long term. But what I see is that they are already having multiple currency backing their USD. For example, Soluna is already having Solana. IBC, I think in the future they're going to have Atom to back their currency, and now they have BTC. Instead of just relying on Luna, they are having actually multiple crypto as their backers. What I see.
Right, interesting.
Whether they are going to put another stable, I don't know. But actually they can. If they want to put DAI wouldn't be a bad area. But rather than putting it as a stable, they can just create a farm with DAI. That would be better.
Right? Yeah. That was my idea also, right? Why not just create another pool, right, or something?
Actually they have, but not official under Terra. It's third parties lah. Lots of third parties.
The third party apps if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But Jago, I think I need to ask you, since right now, right, that you mentioned Luna had a flaw, right, within this liquidity pools and stuff like that. But after it introduced this Bitcoin as the, I would say, foreign reserve, in very simple perspective, is it now still flawed, or are we looking at a different?
It's not yet time tested. You won't know until you get that pressure again, until you get that contraction again. Then only you know whether it works or not. Because BTC also, when the market is bear, it goes red also.
Fair enough.
So it's very hard to know whether the mechanism works or not. Because the last time, it nearly drains out the anchor reserve.
Yeah, exactly. That was exactly what
So everyone tends to realize anchor was bailed out by Daquan. That's the only reason why it's like stood very well. They pump in how many millions. If they don't have a backer like that, I mean, if they were like Yearn Finance, they already bank run that time.
Exactly. So Daquan is like the Federal Reserve lah, injecting liquidity at times of.
So actually, that's why I say when I look at it, I cakap, oh no, I'm not going to invest in Luna. Not now. I just take out all my Luna capital. I wait until they are much better.
How about, okay, here's a crazy idea. How about commodities? How about they really use something like, I don't know, gold or silver, precious metals?
How they are going to do that? They are not going to have any central reserve.
Oh yeah, true. That's also true, right? You have to actually own the gold in the reserve.
They are not going to have anything in the real reserve. Maybe they can put one NFT. I don't know lah. Maybe they put 10 bought up Yes Club. Maybe can lah kot.
If they put the NFT, then they fractionalize it to, I don't know, to a few wallets or stuff like that. Can that happen?
Theoretically, we already have NFT reserve. You know, I've seen some projects doing that. NFT collaterals, all that is coming up. So when these things are established, you can even have NFT as the reserve also. But then you have to sort out the other part of it, the JPEG censorship lah. Now we already see some issues with IPFS. They have to sort out all that things.
Okay, all right. Okay, fine. I think we covered enough about Fantom, Luna, and we gave a lot of quote-unquote advice already lah. There is this pinned tweet right here from Scholar Crypto. You want to spend some time to shield what this superfluid stake is about?
Okay.
Azim?
Azim nak cerita ke? I cerita?
Or Cikgu Isan, you can go ahead. Please.
Okay, so basically, you all know about staking, you all know about farming. So staking has its perks, farming has its perks. But when you stake, you cannot farm, right? For example, you have Osmo coin. You can only stake it, or you can do Osmo Atom and you farm it. So superfluid staking is a combination of both. You stake and you farm at the same time. So a lot of people say, oh, we already have that one. You stake your Luna, you get B Luna. And then your B Luna, you can farm with Luna and you farm that. So what's the problem with tokenized staking? What we call as tokenized staking with the B Luna is that it defeats the purpose of staking. Because staking is meant for you to be loyal to your chain. That means you cannot sell your coin, you cannot actually do it. So Osmosis doesn't want to have tokenized staking because it's a risk. It's a risk to the network. So what they do is that instead of their stake, they make a staking coin, they stake the whole liquidity pool. So that is superfluid staking all about. And that is what we're going to learn this Wednesday. We invited a very reputable person. We invited a validator inside the Osmosis chain. In fact, Crypto Crew is not just any validator. They are the validator for about 20 chains in the interchain technology, including Luna, Atom, and so many coins. So they are going to explain to us about superfluid staking and how it matters to the network.
Interesting. So is this next coin to FOMO in?
Actually, interchain is not one coin. Interchain is a whole next level technology in interoperability. It's not just about one coin. It's not about osmosis. It's about everything. If you talk about Luna, it's interchain. If you talk about Atom, it's interchain. It's a whole new network. It's a whole new technology in blockchain.
Yeah, so they don't have their own native token.
No. They have for interchain itself. No, interchain doesn't have any government network.
Okay. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Well, highly recommend you guys to go and join that talk out. It's on 9th March, which is in 2 days' time, 9 p.m. Twitter Space, right?
Come again?
Is it in Twitter Space?
No. This one we're going to do in Zoom with YouTube stream.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. All right, we'll just come back to the ground right here and talk a bit about our OG Bitcoin. with this situation currently going on with Russia and Ukraine. Discussed it with Balls and Caveman earlier during this session already. We'll probably just cover it again. Yeah, what's going to happen the next few days? What do you guys think? Jiggy, you want to start first with the markets, considering your knowledge and experience?
No, I'm more concerned about Russia being cut off from the internet this 11 March. I'm afraid that Russian Bitcoin is going to be disconnected from the world.
Is there a possibility for that? Because Russia is such a huge country.
Yeah,
for them to
because
entirely shut down
cutting
the
off your internet, they're going to be like North Korea.
Wow. Okay.
So
that I didn't know. Was it recent? Was it recently?
Yeah, recently stated they already instructed all their local companies to point out their servers to local Russian servers.
Just to
wait, so their effect.
Sorry.
Hey, hi
Yeah,
Alex. Welcome.
to
Please
clarify on this Russia point on the internet is they're not cutting off from internet. Just they changed to a local DNS. They won't cut off from internet. Yeah, they won't like that because they need to maintain their what they call it, electronic warfare lah. Okay, that's all I want to say.
Because until today they are still trying to dox they're trying to DDoS the Ukrainian internet services, stuff like that. There's also been cyber attacks lah. So maybe shutting off the internet wouldn't make so much sense to Russia lah. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do.
Because why I'm saying this though is that there is because I'm in the IBC community, we already have this concern about a particular nation being isolated from the world's internet. Initially, the SOP was designed for Ukraine to have an internal coin within Ukraine. But then now they realize that the one who need it is not the Ukrainian but actually the Russians. So one of the scenario that I was discussing is actually what happened if let's say they actually end up disconnecting Russia from the internet. What happened to the bitcoins held by the Russians? So this was a scenario I'm thinking. Number one, that we will have actually lesser circulation of Bitcoin in the other part of the world. That's my first thing lah. So I think overall the net effect will be actually a rise in price of Bitcoin in the long term.
Yeah, right. Isn't that supposed to be true? Because Russia effectively holds about 12% of Bitcoin's entire supply right now.
So,
but then on the flip side, so when they get back to internet, then then the supply suddenly resume back.
Oh, that's another good thought to consider also, right?
So I'm thinking about a lot of possibilities going to happen. Number one is that maybe they are going to establish an LN network locally within their own region. That's one possible. I mean, focus on Bitcoin itself lah. So there will be like a circulation or movement of Bitcoin within Russia and the rest of the world, something like that. I don't know, because it's very hard to predict what's going to happen after 11.
Okay. So ultimately, there's going to be a fork, isn't it?
It's not exactly a fork. Initially my first impression is a possible fork. In fact, I have already run.
Right?
But who wants to fork? Nobody wants to fork and lose. So the only option is actually to run an L2 of it.
True. But if a country wants dominance over that cryptocurrency itself, then obviously Putin might just choose to fork and say, hey, citizens, this is your new Bitcoin right now. Russian Bitcoin.
I don't think Putin is the guy who wants crypto. Even when you see the Ukraine and Russia conflict now, Ukraine were more accepting towards crypto. I don't see Russia asking for donation for crypto. So crypto will eventually be something illegal inside Russia when they become more stricter. So by having a local LN network within Russia, they are going to evade their country detection while not relying on their rubles their ruble currency. I'm thinking.
Balls, you were asking something just now?
Yeah, I mean on the L1 technicalities, this is whether this is actually even possible or not to isolate your holdings into just one country and disconnect the entire, like Shinji said, 12% of the supply. You isolate it within only your country's internet or intranet, For that matter, is it even?
Yeah,
possible?
we already have that technology. They just have to adjust it. We have already Lightning for crypto. We already have L2 for Ethereum. But I mean, Lightning for Bitcoin. L2 for Ethereum is possible.
But then you need to fork, right?
You just need to lock your whole holding in a smart contract in the primary net. And when you got it, you just connect it back.
So it's like basically locking your coins and then fork that lock coins into your own system.
If this happened in 2017 or 2018, my first impression would definitely be a fork. But 2022, nobody wants a fork. It's a waste of money having forks.
Right.
You gotta build a brand new community to it. Also, you gotta make sure the miners update their code whatsoever. Also, right? Their software, everything.
Yeah.
Right? That's a different thing.
So, King Crypto, I'm just thinking out loud on this cutting off internet from the rest of the world. Like, it doesn't do any good for the Russia side, actually.
Exactly, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't see any advantage of that. Probably they will move the government websites, anything with the secret data that all to the internal server. But they still have people still buying oil from them. They still need to do trade outside the borders. I'm not sure how it's going to pan out.
No, what I'm saying is that even now, Russia is already censoring the internet in Russia. A lot of the non-Russian website has already been censored. They are having a very good ally who are very good in censoring internet, which is China. So China has the experience, and I think by the looks of it, Russia might go into that move because they don't want Russian to demonstrate. They don't want them to get influenced by what's happening outside. That's what I see. Even now, without the internet, they're already demonstrating. And then got one person tweet something on Twitter, and then they got arrested. That's the scenario now. They just want to censor their people from the truth, or I don't know what to say, from what happening. So we may think it's not possible, but when I talk to a lot of people who are validators and miners, they're actually looking into this possibility of getting cut off, actually.
Yeah, Alex, you got a question, Alex? Please just go ahead.
Not a question. I just want to continue from King Crypto. Actually, Russian network, if you research how they set up the network, they are absolutely opposite of China's strategy. China only have like one central entrance and exit where they put the firewall there. They call it the Great Firewall, right? And then Russia has multiple addresses. So since the beginning, they always run all these cyber attacks and hacking. So they use a lot of different addresses so they can hide their activity. So that is their more, how to say, they think of it differently, the problem of restricting data. So right now, this coming thing, what they're going to do is they're trying to pull off all the data from AWS and stuff and put it on a locally hosted servers. Things like you see in Vietnam and China and some other countries who have this style of rules. So when you put your data on a local server farm, you can control it. You can write to the server farm, say, I need specific data from, let's say, Futurist. Let's say, I want to know how much Bitcoin he has, right? So, yeah, you can put in, and then they have to comply because they're in the country. Whereas if it's America, Amazon will like, I don't care about you. By the way, you are sanctioned, so I'm turning off your servers. Then suddenly, overnight, you lost the ability to access things. Yeah. Yeah, that's all.
I think there's a valid point on that also. I mean, rather than actually censoring the internet outside, they want to control the internet inside. Yeah, that is logical as well. Possibly that's the move they're going to take. In a way, because one more thing we must understand that Russian also hosts websites that are used by other parts of the world, unlike China. I think so, right? Yeah.
Right. That's absolutely right. I think Mari is actually leaving right now. Mari, she's taking a leave, right? You wanna tell us your quote that you adhere very dearly to?
I'm gonna crash. The topic is getting heavy and heavy.
The
But anyway,
topic is really getting heavy.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Good night, guys. Be safe. Remember.
Wait, what's the punchline?
Okay, the punchline is this lah. Okay, I'll say it for you, Marish.
Okay.
Remember to take profit, guys. Take profit, then buy Gucci. Okay.
Yeah. That is very, very important. Take profit.
There we go.
Enjoy. Go buy Gucci.
Yes. If you have not heard that specific quote, go and listen to our most recent podcast about degen. Marish is there. He said it at around, I think, 10-15 minutes like that. So we should probably make it into a meme lah.
Okay, guys. Good night.
Good night.
Okay, thanks Marish. Thanks for coming.
Alright.
Okay, so bottom line, Fantom, going back to Fantom. So DCA until $1 lah, okay? Okay, close case.
$1.
Hey, no financial advice lah.
No, just kidding.
You guys. Yeah, okay, we'll probably let the session run another like 5-10 minutes lah. We'll end it at I would say a good note lah. Should we be worried about this dip? Okay, taking a look at Bitcoin still far away from its all-time high of 69k, and a lot of fear going on right now. This is not FUD basically. This is really a grey swan event, and if this war progresses to and it resolves or something like that, could war actually be good for Bitcoin? That's, I would say, a tough thing to say. Right? What do you think, Jeku? You want to start first?
It's very hard to say what war will affect Bitcoin, because we never had that scenario. Unlike gold, what happened, classical move, blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Yes, because gold.
The retailers are looking at Bitcoin as gold, but what I see, institutions are not treating Bitcoin like gold. They are treating Bitcoin like technology. I mean, like tech stocks. So I don't know. In terms of use case, we have seen an increase in use case. For example, like the Ukraine donation campaign, and then Russians start moving their money, but it's a smaller scale compared to the bigger financial market. At the end of the day, everyone is still going back to the one eye money, which is USD. So I don't know. Maybe it goes down, but in the long run, let's say a war that lasts for 5-6 years, I think it will go up. Short-term war, maybe no.
This is definitely not good for Bitcoin lah. So for those of you who still have the mindset of like Bitcoin being a safe haven asset, right? Yeah, please clear that thought away from your head lah, because it's not. It doesn't have the history as compared to gold, 5,000 years of history, and people are still speculating a lot on Bitcoin lah, particularly due to leverage, margin trading, so on and so forth. So I do really like Jigo Isan's point on that one also. Yeah. You want to take a bite at this, balls?
Take a what?
Take a bite, balls.
Okay, so on your question, right? Like in my opinion, this is one of the very good opportunities lah. I see it as an opportunity. Some people see it as a risk, right? So just keep DCAing and don't care about the fluctuations, and we will write this out, because in the long run, right, I don't see why Bitcoin cannot be successful. That's just my take. Yeah. Again,
like what I've always been trying to push lah, $100,000 per Bitcoin is inevitable based on pure math itself. If the money printer is continuously on, inevitably Bitcoin will reach $100,000 if you remove the time frame. So that's just basic math. There is no 2 cents about it. And if you remove your time preference, if you stop looking at Bitcoin as like a day-by-day basis, always checking the price when you wake up, so on and so forth. I mean, I do that also, but I do that is because I want to DCA in, not DCA out. So I think ultimately we have to see Bitcoin as it will be the safe haven asset in the near or far future, but at the end of the day, 100k per Bitcoin is inevitable. Yeah.
And I think
okay.
There's a quick tip for farmers. If you are crypto farmers and you are not sure the direction of the market, rather than go for a crypto farm, you go for a crypto USD farm. So either way the market goes, you actually still win.
Stable farm lah.
No. Crypto stable farm.
Crypto stable
Yeah.
farm. You mean like Fantom USDT?
Yeah.
That farm?
Because if it goes down, you don't lose much. If it goes up, you still gain something. But then you still got your APR running.
The APR is actually quite competitive lah. Yeah. Okay. But at the end of the day, obviously, make sure you do your own research lah.
No financial advice given.
Yeah, I mean, you take a look at Wonderland, right? 10,000% APY, and after that it becomes something like this. So yeah, it's kind of sad to see these things happen. But yeah, I think we got to close the session already. Jago, if you want to have any final words, you want to shield yourself, talk a bit about what you're currently doing. I'm sure people know already, but take it away, man.
So I think for those who don't know, my name is Isan, and I'm one of the educator at Sekolah Crypto. We are a non-government organization. We have been doing lots and lots of videos, and then Telegram session, YouTube, and then Twitter sessions. Please follow us. Please share, because most of our content on the internet is free. It's free. It's in the local language for most of us. So don't miss out the opportunity to learn. That's the most important thing. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah. FYI, guys, Jago Isan is also the author of the book Wak Me, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's the book. We just relaunched. I think 1 month ago.
It's a fantastic book. I had a glance at it the other day. Marish passed it to me very briefly, so I had a glance at it, and I think it's really fantastic. Very well researched, and obviously the language is also, I think, easy enough to understand. And you cover a lot of areas about DeFi, safety, the blockchain technology. Highly recommended for people who want to get started, who don't know anything about crypto at all, and it will give you a very good overview on a lot of terms in the crypto universe. I think it's a highly good book. Recommend Malaysians to read it. I would like to get myself one, considering I shoot for you guys already. But don't worry, just kidding on that part. Yeah, to end off the session with myself, Futurists, you know what we do? We do something like this every Sunday at 10 p.m. in our Discord. We will do a weekly analysis session where I round up the markets. And if you're not a Patreon member, if you miss the live session, you won't be able to watch the recording. That's only for our Patreon members. And if you're interested, do check out our Patreon membership. We have an exclusive group for all our Patreon members right here. Very lively community also. I think Balls, Urshad, Marish, and also CG is also in our Patreon membership. Not to brag, but yeah, you know how it is. So if you guys are interested, join us. Join Sekolah Crypto. See you guys soon. This recording will be in our Spotify by, I think, Wednesday. So bye. Good night.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.